Banana na 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 na. 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 Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Good evening. Thank you. My name is Ayoti, and this is Eagle Striker, the home of Nigerian footballers. We are live for the first time in a little while. We are live because today was the day that we saw, the Super Eagles 23-man squad to face Portugal. Unfortunately, we're not going to the World Cup, but we still have an international friendly to play, so we still have some conversations that we can have amongst ourselves, some debates that we can of course have amongst ourselves, and just enjoy each other's company on this wonderful Friday night. Thank you for joining me, guys. I see you, Temitayo. I see you, Smitlai. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Let me know where you guys are watching from. I see you, Victor. I see you, Victor. um, I see you, Sebe. Let me know where you guys are watching from so I can hail you very quickly before we get into it. Monaco Matt, long time, long time. I see you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for everyone joining on YouTube, on Facebook. I see you guys. Okay, we want to talk about the Super Eagles squad to face Portugal. Kalk Mind is in Dubai. Chris Obinaya is in Port Harcourt. Thank you for joining me. Temitayo Sekata, here we come. Bobby Kena is in BC. Sebe is in Sweden. Dr. Shesor is in Minneapolis. Unlimited is in Lagos. All around the world. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for joining. This Super Eagles squad, very, very interesting squad. Strong team, I must say. Strong team. Dave Jenny from Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you. The match is on Thursday. The match is on Thursday. Smith Lai is joining from Manchester. Ken Bodman is joining from Germany. Tonio from London. Man, you guys are all around the world. Desto is in Portugal. I hope you are going for the game. Xavier is in Birmingham. K Black is in Dubai. Wow. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for joining. I see you, Solo Nice, all the way from Las Giri. I see you, Joshua. Thank you very much for joining. Emmanuel is in Benin. Okay, let's get into the list. Let's get into the list for the friendly against Portugal. In case you haven't seen it, I'll read through the squad very quickly. As always, I'll share my thoughts. I'll give you guys some of my opinions, tell you how I'm feeling, what I think about the players, and then I'll bring some people on to hear their thoughts as well. We'll debate. I see you, Kelechi Nwakali, Super Eagles player. Thank you for joining. Joshua is joining from Trinidad and Tobago. Wow, thank you. Desto says, yes, I have my tickets. Nice. Tosin is in Ottawa. Thank you for joining, Tosin. Okay, so let me run through the list very quickly. In goal, we have Maduka Okoye, we have Francis Uzoho, and we have Adebayo Adeleye. Those are the three goalkeepers. Maduka Okoye, of course, plays for Watford in England. Francis Uzoho plays for Omonia in Cyprus, and Adebayo Adeleye plays for Hapoel Jerusalem in Israel. So three goalkeepers. Not too much to say there. The three goalkeepers that honestly I would have expected. I'm happy that Adebayo Adeleye is getting called up. I'm happy that he's getting his chance because he's been doing really well. He's been performing. Uzoho, of course, a lot of people watched him against Man United. Saw that his wonderful performance. So and Uzoho is a regular in the Super Eagles squad, so you expect him to be there. Maduka Okoye as well, even though he's barely playing football. I expected to see him get called up because he's been the number one for a long time, But I really, really wish he was playing football. But yeah, those are the three goalkeepers. Moving on to the defenders very quickly. We have William Troost-Ekong of Watford, captain of Watford, Troost-Ekong. We have Olisanda of Orlando Pirates in South Africa. Congrats, Olisanda. He recently just won the MTN 8 trophy in South Africa with his team. We have Calvin Bassey of Ajax in Netherlands. We have Kevin Akpoguma of TSG Hoffenheim in Germany. We have Chidi Ebube Duru of Rivers United in Nigeria. We have Tyrone Ebuehi, Empoli in Italy. We have a first-time call-up for Bruno Onyemaechi. Forgive me for the bad Igbo pronunciation. but Bruno plays for Boa Vista in Portugal. And we have Bright Osayi-Samuel, another first-time call-up for Bright Osayi-Samuel, who plays for Fenerbahce in Turkey. So, I mean, defenders, I will say there's a few comments here and there. People are asking what happened to Leon Balogun, what happened to Chidozie Awaziem, why are they not in the squad? I was thinking about it, and I really don't know. Leon Balogun is in good form. He's actually been playing 90 minutes. He's been doing well for his club QPR. So I was thinking to myself, unless he's injured, which I'm not sure, are they preparing for life after Leon? That's what I was thinking. Because if he's not injured, then are they just trying to say, okay, Leon is old, he's been a good servant to us, he's done well in his time, and let's see what he can be like, if he wasn't there. Maybe they're just trying to prepare for that. I don't know. Somebody is saying, what about Omeruo? So with Omeruo's own, I know Kenneth has been out with an injury for a while. He only recently resumed training with his club, and I don't even think that he has played since he came back from the injury. So I can understand that Omeruo will not be called up for this squad, if he hasn't played football in a while and he's been injured. So I wasn't too surprised by the omission of Kenneth Omeruo from this squad. For Awaziem, Awaziem has been in good form, since he joined Hajduk Split. Some people don't rate the competition because it's Croatia, but Awaziem has actually been playing well. I think he scored 4 goals, even though that's not his job, but he scored 4 goals for his club, and he's been keeping some clean sheets as well. I mean, he's made it into the Eagle Striker Team of the Week a number of times. So I would have thought that Awaziem would get a call up. I don't know if he got injured. I don't think so. But it was interesting to me that Awaziem somehow missed out of this squad. I mean, and then another thing a question that I just have to ask, because when I watch players that are doing well, I have to try to call it out and to try to let people be aware of if they're not so aware of it. I wonder sometimes, what Ayobile needs to do to get into the squad. I mean, I'm not going to name any names and say, hey, he should replace this player or he should replace that player. But this guy is a guy that he's been doing well for Livingston for a while now. He's one of the best Nigerian performers week in, week out in that defensive position. I understand that Ekong is the vice captain, he's captain of Watford. Ekong, he's actually playing well since he started playing actually in Watford. Understand that plays in South Africa. But I mean, I don't want to say anything bad about Onissan. That's a fantastic player. But I mean, I was even looking at the what's it called? I was looking at the numbers, and it was just interesting to me that you have to kind of look at it and say, hey, how do you select the other guy over this guy? Because he's been doing fantastically well. And I mean, obviously, numbers don't tell you everything, but numbers tell you a lot. And I watch these games, I watch these players a lot, but I like to use numbers to back things up sometimes because, and I'm just trying to say that, regardless of who it is, I think the coaches need to give this guy a look in. I've interviewed him. He has spoken about how he has this great desire to play for Nigeria. He's passionate. He loves the country. He wants to play for us. And I'm not saying like he's going to come and be the next Joseph Yobo, no. But I'm just saying that his performances deserve, a look in. At least, again, there have been questionable call-ups at several occasions, in the past. So I think, the guy can get a shot. There's also the omission of Zaidu Sanusi. Very interesting omission. I thought when I saw the squad. I don't know if Sanusi is injured. Oh yes, Sanusi is injured. Oh, forgive me, Sanusi is injured. I remember he got injured in a game. Yes. So Sanusi is injured. So that makes sense. That makes sense why he's not there. I just remembered that Sanusi actually got injured. Okay. So yes, Bruno Onyemaechi. He's a wing back. He plays for Boa Vista. I've been following him for some time now. And he's actually a very good player. He's not the best tackler, I will say, but I think he has quality. I mean, he's 23, so he's not like young, but it will be interesting to see how he can perform from that left back position for Nigeria. And of course, I mean, Calvin Bassey can play left back, he can play center back. So Calvin Bassey is always an asset for us to have there. Bright Osayi-Samuel, Fenerbahce. I'll be honest with you, I've not been watching Bright Osayi-Samuel that much. I've watched maybe 2 games of his this season when he played against another Nigerian. But I know Bright Osayi-Samuel as a player in general. I know that he has quality. I mean, I watched him in QPR, I believe. Was it QPR or Reading when the 3 Nigerian boys were there? I'm mixing it up right now. But yeah, Bright Osayi-Samuel is a player that has talent. Since he moved to Fenerbahce, they kind of made him into a wing back, and he's been doing well there. So congrats to him. I'm looking forward to seeing how he performs in the green of Nigeria if he does get to play and make his debut. Okay, let's move on to the midfielders. We have Joe Aribo. Oh yeah, QPR. Thank you, Temsayo. We have Joe Aribo, who plays for Southampton in England. We have Alex Iwobi, the best midfielder right now. Alex Iwobi, who plays for Everton in England. We have Wilfred Ndidi, our brick wall, who plays for Leicester City in England. We have Frank Onyeka, Super Frankie, who plays for Brentford FC in England. And we have Onyemaechi Osayi-Samuel, who plays for Aris Thessaloniki in Greece. Another very interesting, interesting selection, interesting position, I will say. The midfield is the position that everybody is always saying that Nigeria, we always call 3 midfielders and then we'll put wingers there, or we don't have midfielders, things like that. So I'm always looking forward to seeing who the coaches select in that position. And I will say Joe Aribo was probably a no-brainer. For that position. Alex Iwobi, of course, was a no-brainer. Alex Iwobi should have been the first name that they wrote in this team sheet. Alex Iwobi should have maybe only Osimhen maybe that could have come before Iwobi. But Alex Iwobi, of course, was going to be in the squad. Wilfred Ndidi, of course, if Ndidi is fit, he makes the squad. We know what Ndidi brings to Nigeria. Nobody else can do that. But then the 2 selections that I thought were interesting were Frank Onyeka and Onyemaechi Osayi-Samuel. And I will start first of all with Frank Onyeka. Frank Onyeka, for the first fact that he doesn't play that much for his club Brentford. I mean, he's been playing like 45 minutes every game now, and I think they started him in the cup game and he played about 60 minutes. But he doesn't play that much, and even when he plays, he's not been performing exceptionally or anything like that. I think he has 1 assist this season, and if we're being honest, that assist was like, it wasn't really like he created a chance, type of thing. You pass the ball, the player scored from it, and then you see players like somebody just mentioned, Rafael Onyedika, playing very well for Club Brugge in Belgium. I know Belgium is not as good as England, but somebody that is actually playing in Belgium versus somebody that is not playing that much in England, I mean, and then at the same time, Onyedika has quality that we don't have in other players, except maybe Alex Iwobi. Onyedika can actually control the midfield. Onyedika can actually spread passes. Onyedika can actually play the ball. I wish he was in this squad because he deserves to be in the squad. But, I mean, the coaches know what they're doing. Another player here that I think was questionable for the call-up is Onyemaechi Osayi-Samuel. No disrespect to Etebo. I love him. He's a fantastic player. He's served us well. He's been a good player for the Super Eagles. But when I look at the team and I look at the players right now, again, players like Onyedika, there are players like Al Hassan Yusuf. I mean, Etebo has actually been playing well recently. So let's not even say he's not doing well. Etebo has actually been playing well recently for Aris since he moved there. But I just look at the other players that I'm mentioning, like maybe Al Hassan Yusuf or like an Onyedika. And I think that right now they can actually offer more to the squad. Age is on their side because they are younger. They stay fit versus Etebo, who we know, unfortunately, tends to get injured a lot. So why not bring those guys? Why not make those guys be a part of the team and actually grow into the Super Eagles position and let them turn into fantastic players for us for the very long future? I mean, but again, the coaches know best. What can I say? We just have to see how the players do. Okay. And then I'll move on to the forwards. Forwards, we have Moses Simon of Nantes FC in France. Of course, Moses Simon, star player for Nigeria at the AFCON in 2022. Yeah, I mean, even though we didn't do that well, yeah, he was our best player there. We have Samuel Chukwueze for Villarreal in Spain. Chukwueze, with the new, after Unai Emery left and went to Aston Villa, their new coach has actually been playing Chukwueze from the start. Chukwueze, of course, we know the talents that he has. I mean, so I'm not surprised to see him in the squad. Ademola Lookman for Atalanta in Italy. Of course, Ademola Lookman is going to be in the squad. Ademola Lookman is such a good player, fantastic player. He can strike the ball so well. He creates chances. He dribbles. He's more composed than he looks when he's on the ball in the box. I think he's a very intelligent player, and he's still, going to improve. He's only played, I think, 2 games for Nigeria. He's going to turn into a very good player. And I think Ademola Lookman, based on his form as well, he was the player of the month for Atalanta. Fantastic form that he's in. Of course, he deserves to be in this squad. Onyedika is not injured. No, Onyedika. I know that categorically that Onyedika is not injured. He just did not get called up. But yeah, we also have Terry Murphy for Lorient in France. Terry Murphy, fantastic striker. I made a comment when Murphy scored that goal against PSG. I said I think Murphy is a better finisher than Osimhen, and a lot of people were saying, "Oh, what are you saying? You don't know football, blah blah blah." And I always find it funny when people tell me that I don't know football, because I'm like, "Come on, guys! You guys know that I actually watch too much football. Sometimes is even disturbing, And the thing is that, again, Osimhen is a better striker than Murphy. I'm never going to argue that with anybody. But when I talk about finishing, when I talk about the ability to strike a ball, the ability to score a goal, I always think that Murphy is one guy that I would trust. Another example that I tell people is that if somebody had to have the ball from the halfway line, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, who would I trust more to score that goal? Halfway line, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. I would trust Murphy more to score that goal. And it's such a tiny thing, but is a big thing sometimes, that ability to finish. And people thought I was saying that he's a better player than Osimhen. No. Osimhen gives you so much more. He gives you that fight. He brings that fear into players. But sometimes that finishing ability, just that ability to strike a ball, is something that sometimes some players have. Like, Olivier Giroud is not the best player in the world, but that ability to strike a ball is there. Things like that. Okay. But yeah, Terry Murphy, of course, he's been in form as well. He scored some good goals for Lorient, so I'm not surprised to see him in this squad. We also have Paul Onuachu. Who plays for KFC Genk. Onuachu is this guy that, sometimes I'm like, why is he still in Belgium? But at the same time, it's like, should he actually leave Belgium? I want to see him play at a higher level. But he just dominates this league. Sometimes it's like, man, if he can keep dominating, should he not keep dominating? I mean, he's been in form. I don't know his stats off the top of my head right now, but I know he scored so many goals. I think about 12 goals. This man scored 4 goals in a game one time. Fantastic player, underrated player, I always think, because even though people see that he scores so many goals, people still give him a lot of stick and still make so many negative comments about him, when it comes to Super Eagles especially. So 14 goals. Thank you for that, Coach Michael. 14 goals. Fantastic player, I think. So yeah, kudos to Paul Onuachu. And then we also have Victor Osimhen. Of course, Osimhen has to be in the squad. Osimhen is in fantastic form, such fantastic form. Other than his form, Osimhen is a wonderful player. He's the best player that we have. I think so. He's the best player that Nigeria has. He's Nigeria's most valuable player. He's always our best chance to score a goal in any match. So Osimhen, of course, was going to be in this squad. And I'm sure even Ronaldo, as he saw the Nigeria squad, is shaking small that Osimhen is going to be competing against him. I'm sure Ronaldo is scared a little bit. So that's the kind of power that Osimhen has. So yes, of course, Osimhen was going to be in this squad. And then we have Emmanuel Dennis Bonaventure. Dennis Emmanuel was the one name that stood out to me. And I was like, does Dennis deserve to be in the squad? I started to think about it. People were leaving comments, and I started to think about it. Does Dennis deserve to be in this squad? And it's very interesting because, first of all, let's talk about the club that he plays for. He plays for Nottingham Forest in the Premier League. And then Nottingham Forest just coincidentally happens to have another Nigerian player there, in the name of Taiwo Awoniyi. And then if you now compare how those two Nigerians have been playing, you're like, Awoniyi is doing better than Dennis. So how come Dennis is getting caught up and Awoniyi is not getting caught up? So that's the first confusion that you start to have. But then I was thinking about it. I'm like, okay, Awoniyi is a number 9. Awoniyi is a striker. And this is me just thinking about the decision. I'm like, Awoniyi is a striker. So maybe they have Osimhen, who is a striker. They have Murphy, who is a striker. They have Onuachu, who is a striker. They say, oh, these 3 players are in better form. They are used to the Super Eagles, so we don't need a 4th striker. I can understand. That makes sense to me when I think about it like that. So I can understand why maybe they might not have called up Awoniyi. Okay, then I look at other players. Like Xavier Godwin, for example. I'm like, Xavier Godwin is doing so well in Portugal. What can we say about him? Okay, I mean, maybe you say Portugal is not as tough as Premier League, so maybe that's the reason. Okay, then I think about other players. I'm like, okay, David Okereke. I'm like, David Okereke, this guy is playing so well in Italy. And I'm like, Okereke is either a striker or a winger, just like Dennis. So I'm like, Okereke can provide that versatility. And then I really, really started to think about it, and I had to go and look for the numbers. And the numbers are very interesting when you compare David Okereke and Emmanuel Dennis. And I mean, again, I think the Premier League is the toughest league in the world. But at the same time, this Italian Serie A is a pretty good league, is a pretty strong league. And I don't know if you guys can see this thing properly, but almost in every facet, when you actually look at it, Okereke is taking better chances, or is using his chances better. He's getting more shots on target. He's shooting at a higher percentage. He's passing the ball better. He's creating more chances for his team. He's pretty much doing better in almost every facet. And it's someone said my picture is, unfortunately, I cannot move it more than this. But yeah, I just thought like David Okereke maybe could have got a chance, in this squad. He's been doing well for Cremonese, a small team, just like Dennis is playing for a small team, and it was just unfortunate. But yes, everybody cannot get in the squad. I think maybe Okereke should have taken that spot. Some people are also saying Victor Boniface, so I'll mention it. Victor Boniface has also been doing well in Belgium, for Saint Gilloise. And could he have got that spot? I think Boniface would have been an interesting call up, because, of course, it would have been first time call up for him. But it would have been a strong decision. I think it would have been a strong decision for them to make, given that he's not playing in the biggest league, things like that. And if they're leaving players like Onyemaechi off the team, people might complain. That's why I'm not too surprised about Boniface. I think Boniface will get into the squad eventually, if he keeps playing at the rates that he's playing. But I think, Okereke maybe should have been in this squad, because he's doing well and he deserves it. Some people are saying Cyril Dessers. I wouldn't. Some people are saying Cyril Dessers. I wouldn't include Cyril Dessers, because Dessers has not been in the best of form. If we're being honest, Dessers has not been in the best of form. He got injured. He only recently came back from his injury. He only recently came back from his injury, so I understand why they wouldn't have called Dessers for this one. But yeah, that is the squad. Those are my thoughts. I think it's overall a very good team. I already spoke about Lyon when I was talking about defenders. I I think it's a very good team, other than certain positions here and there, certain players here and there that I think maybe could have got a call up. Somebody said, have I watched Colin Saw? Yes, I've watched a lot of Colin Saw. He was our revelation of the year in our ET Awards for last season. But Colin Saw has not, he wasn't playing that much at the start of the season. He started playing a few games. Frankly, I wouldn't fight for Colin Saw to be in this squad. He's a young player. He's going to get better. He's going to get his chance. But right now, I don't think so. For that person, just wanted me to talk about Colin. So those are my thoughts on him, but I think he's a good young player. Um, Somebody says Ebubeduru is interesting. I mean, Ebubeduru is interesting because sometimes you think of it, and I don't want to disrespect him, but you're like, are they just trying to call up an MPFL player for the sake of calling up an MPFL player? Sometimes you think of it like that. And again, I don't want to disrespect him. But then, if we're really looking at the defenders that we have, the options that were left off, are you telling me that he's better than them? you know I mean, so I really don't know. I actually tried to look for a Veduru stats. I tried to look for his numbers because I'm not going to lie to you that I watch his games. I tried to look for his numbers. I mean, I couldn't find any numbers. So yeah, I don't know what to say really about him. But yeah. Another interesting thing was Maduka Okoye, because I was thinking about it. Maduka Okoye, I'm like, is it that we don't have other goalkeepers? I was thinking about it. Is it that we don't have other goalkeepers that even when Maduka Okoye is not playing, he has to get called up? Or is it that those other goalkeepers that we have are just not good enough? Is it that they're just not good enough? That even if Maduka is not playing, he's still better than them. I mean, that's the question that I cannot answer because I'm not the coach. But I thought it was interesting, because I'm somebody that I used to advocate for Maduka starting over Uzoho when Maduka was playing consistently and Uzoho was not. You guys know I used to come here, I used to say Maduka should start. But I like to be honest, right now Maduka is not playing, I mean, so I don't even know if he deserves to be in the squad, honestly, because there are other goalkeepers like maybe Yakubu, maybe Alampasu. Even though Alampasu plays at a low level, I must say, but still there are other goalkeepers. Maybe somebody is saying Osigwe. Osigwe is not playing that often. I think that's the problem with Osigwe. Osigwe is not playing that often. Osigwe plays cup matches for his team. I don't think he doesn't play that many matches. I mean, there's I'm forgetting somebody right now. But yeah, maybe they just don't rate the other goalkeepers. I mean, but yeah, I think Adelaide and Zoho have to battle out that number one spot in training. I wouldn't say straight up that. I mean, Uzoho is most likely going to start because he's used to the team. He's been there. He's done that. He's played a lot of games for them. I mean, he's kept us at the World Cup for crying out loud. Mentioning World Cup just made me sad. But yes, Uzoho has been in the team for a while now. So Uzoho is probably going to start. But Adelaide, I mean, one day, Adelaide has to get his chance to really show up for Nigeria, and hopefully he can take it because he's probably the keeper that I rate the highest right now. Because Uzoho, plays at a lower level than Adelaide. So yeah. Somebody said I'd rather take the best goalkeeper in the MPFL. Somebody is saying Arthur Okonkwo. I mean, Arthur Okonkwo, I don't know if maybe he's not ready to play for us or they're not ready to call him up. I don't know. I don't know the situation there. Good night. Thank you, Kelechi Wakali. Thank you for joining us. But yeah, let's see. Someone says Google Owen Goodman. I know Owen Goodman. Again, are these players ready to play for us, or are the NFF people ready to call them up? Questions that we have to somehow get answers to, which I don't have the answers, unfortunately. Somebody said, I think Israeli league is harder than Cyprus league. Yeah, I think so. And I think UEFA thinks so as well. Let me check. I'm not sure. But I can actually check. I see you, Latunji Victor. Thank you for joining. Let me see. This person is making me check this thing right now. Yeah, so the Israeli league is rated higher than Cyprus. Yeah. Yeah, so I was correct. So yeah. Okay. Let's see what the comments are saying. If you don't know Latunji Victor, he plays for AEK Lanaka, another Nigerian player. So many, and I mean, he played in Europe this season. So thank you for joining. Desmond, thank you for joining. I see you. Okay, let me bring you guys on now. Let me hear your thoughts. Let me hear what you guys think about the squad. I mean, it's not that serious, so nothing to nobody should be too angry or be too upset. It's not that serious. We're not playing in the World Cup. It's just friendly. It's against Ronaldo and his friends. I mean, our captain is not in the squad. Interestingly, Ahmed Musa. I think it's because he's just recovering. I mean, he's played a game for his club, but I think it's because he's just recovering from his injury. Or maybe they don't want to use Ahmed Musa again. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, but yeah, our captain is not in the squad. Okay, let me see who would like to join. Let's hear your thoughts. Someone said Folarin Balogun should have been called. Is he ready to play for us? Hello, Felix.
Bro? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How are you doing?
Okay, I'm good, bro. I'm good, bro.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So, what do you think?
Yeah. Overall, the first squad, irrespective of the fact that we still have some suspicious calling, like a player like Onyemaechi, for instance, I don't know what he's doing in the squad. He should not even be in the squad to me. I don't know why Emmanuel Dennis have not proved anything in the national team. And this season is yet to prove anything with Nottingham Forest. So I don't know the preference the coach used in choosing Emmanuel Dennis and not Onyemaechi, because we still have players like Alazan Yusuf who have not made his debut and is doing well. We could just try him in the midfield. Moreover, we are even short of midfielders. Who knows? It might come good. And I'm also happy for the invitation of Bright Osayi-Samuel. Very, very happy. Like, I've been waiting for this long for him to be invited to the national team, and it's a great thing. It's a great thing that we see him being invited. I think Peseiro is a lover of wing, right wing, all these fullbacks who are very pacey, who are attacking. And I think Osayi-Samuel is a good shift. And all I know is injured. He's injured right now. Osayi-Samuel can play that position. I trust him better than Tyrone Eboyi. So I think he's a good, but Etebo in that squad to me, Etebo does not make sense to me. Etebo does not make sense. I don't see the reason why Etebo should be in that squad. I thought Rafael Onyedika was injured before. I thought he was injured.
No, he's not. He's not.
But when I said I was not injured, I couldn't just clear my why this guy was not invited. This is the right time to be building for the future, not trying old legs who are not playing or performing better anymore.
Okay. So let me ask you, so what are you happy other than you said by Osayi-Samuel? I mean, Osimhen, Murphy, Onuachu, what do you think about those three strikers?
Yeah, I've been, let me say this publicly. I think I've been one of the biggest critics of Paul Onuachu. I've always talked down on him, despite scoring so many goals. I'm not.
So yeah, one of the people that I was talking about when I was.
yeah. To be honest, I'm a guy that when I do something, either I'm wrong later or it is not as I predicted. I'm someone that will come out confidently and apologize or probably say this is what I felt. Even after him scoring so many goals, I was not still convinced about his quality. I just thought it's one of these lucky, maybe it was a fluke. But I kept saying something. I always say he's not quality, but probably it just caused the lower league. But I got to understand something, that if you're not in that position to score goals, you need to be a quality player to always be in that position, to always score that goal. That means Onuachu has something very great is offering. But moreover, Belgium league is not a cheap league. That is where Club Brugge came from. And Club Brugge are actually in the last season of the Champions League. So it's a good call up. I'm happy for Osimhen. Osimhen right now is the pride of every club, pride of every top club. Every rumor flying about here and there. I think I screenshotted to I snapped one program like that on Super Sports. Manchester United last week wanted to play against Aston Villa when they got defeated. Pre-match analysis on Super Sports. I think he's in Michael Lewin. I've forgotten an England legend, a very popular guy, but I've forgotten him. He was saying Manchester United need to go. You know, Osimhen was not. This is not Italian Serie A. This is the EPL. He just remember that Manchester United needs to sign a striker next season. And he's thinking about Osimhen because Osimhen is a fantastic striker. I think I videoed that and I sent it to something like that. This is an EPL match now. For them to make reference to this guy all the way from England to Italy, that means, you know, I'm just happy that he's in the team. Murphy coming back from injury, scoring that stunner against PSG, you know, it was just fantastic. I think Murphy is going to leave next season. Murphy needs a club like Borussia Dortmund, probably Bayern Leverkusen. Is the standard.
See,
the standard.
You know, it's interesting because I said something. Murphy blew at the wrong time. See, hear me out there. How can you say somebody blew at the wrong time? Murphy blew during COVID, and that was the issue. If there was no COVID, Murphy would have left Lorient. See, because something that a lot of people don't know is that season that Murphy had with Lorient was better than the season that Osimhen had with Leo that got him his move to Napoli. Wow. If you look at the numbers, the season that Murphy had with Lorient, he did better than what Osimhen did with Leo the year before he moved to Napoli for that 80 how many million this thing. But it just happened to be that
scored just 13 goals in Lille before that.
Yep. And it just happened to be that Murphy did it during the year that it was COVID. Nobody had money. Nobody was thinking of strikers. They were playing behind closed doors. And, you know, it just kind of went under the radar. And then the next season, unfortunately, his whole team was now struggling. So now he's now this year that he's now showing himself again, the quality that he has. And I'm sure that at the end of this season, there will be teams that will be looking for Terry Murphy's services, of course. I'm sure. All right, Felix. Do you have anything else to say before I let you go?
Yeah, just to I wish the team good luck. And you know, Nigerian fans, I don't like this narrative. Before every game, we just keep shouting we are all Nigerians. We are paid because we are not in the World Cup. But that does not mean Italy is not also in the World Cup. We have some top teams also missing the World Cup. But one thing we should just keep up is the Niger spirit. We know things are not Ayo. I think it's this narrative you always see every time. Yeah, things are not going well in Nigeria. The administration is bad. Yes, we know it has been like that since forever. So let us just try and support this team, irrespective. We should stop putting out negative comment. Immediately the team wants to play, I start saying, they will lose. See, Ayo, I must be sincere with something. The Nigeria match against Costa Rica, I don't care what people say to me. According to the level of those guys, to me, that game was not a bad game. To me, in fact, I didn't expect those guys would play to that level. I didn't expect such from them. I saw more positives in that game. To me, I saw a right back who has potential, who could grow to something else. I saw Nosuri in the midfield. Yeah, who knows? I don't know his age. Maybe it's a potential or he's old. I don't know, but. I see that he's a good player, and these guys can come to. I also saw a guy playing at the central defense, you know, good player too. So we shouldn't just always put this negative narrative outside there.
All right. Thank you very much, Felix. Thanks for joining us. Okay. Before I bring the next person on, I wanted to show you guys something. I looked at the numbers between the three goalkeepers in the squad. So these are the three goalkeepers in the squad, and these are their numbers. We have Francis Zoho, we have Adebayo Adeleye, and we have Maduka Okoye. Let me see if I can show you guys. So somebody said I should recommend a new goalkeeper. So based on these numbers, I'll let you guys decide what you expect to happen, or what you ideally would like to happen, or what you think is supposed to happen. Matches played is at the bottom, in case you're wondering. And then Adebayo Adeleye has played the most matches this season. Uzoho played today, so I would say Uzoho has 9 games instead of 8. He played today. But yeah. I mean, Okoye's sample size is 1 match, which is how many matches he has played this season. So there's only so much that we can say about that. I mean, so yeah, what do you guys think? Okay, I'm going to bring the next person up now. Bobby Kina, inviting you. Kenneth is injured, yes. He's not fully fit. Hello.
Hey bro, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm okay.
Thanks for joining. Okay, so
Thank you.
what are your thoughts on the Super Eagles squad to face Portugal?
Okay. So what I think is that we should allow Peseiro a chance. No matter the squad you select, people are still going to have something to say. So, like you mentioned, Onyemaechi, a table coming into the team, and a couple other people like this other guy from Nottingham Forest coming into the team. Yeah, it's questionable, but we should just support the coach and allow him to, maybe he has something in mind that we are not aware of, or maybe he has an information that we do not have, right? So we should allow him a chance and let him just do his job, okay? Even if he brought in Onyedika and the rest of them, people are still going to, find fault in some other angle, right? So if you ask me, I think the entire squad, the entire makeup is decent enough. When Genotro was there, we never used to see, things like this. Genotro will always do something that, gets everybody crazy. But what we see in this squad is that, especially the attack line, right? It's based on recent form, 100%. Now, if you're looking at the midfielders, or maybe the defenders, then you might have 1 or 2 questions to ask, okay? But all the guys, all the forwards he invited is purely based on their recent form and what they've been doing recently. So let's just support him. Let's just allow him. Let's even see what they have to offer against Portugal. Then after watching the match, then maybe we can begin to, give our opinion. So for me, I'm supporting Peseiro. I don't know why. I think the guy has something to offer. All right. When they, announced him the national team coach, that was probably my first time of hearing that name. Never had that name before as coach. But right now, yeah, he hasn't had, much of good results. But few of the things he's doing now, I think we should just give him time. Give him probably time, 6 months, 1 year, and see what's going to happen. Then if after a year or so, the Super Eagles are not making any progress, then we can begin to crucify him. But right now, let's just give these guys a chance. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, criticizing people too much is also a problem. It's good we Nigerians, we know how to do that, right? But sometimes just allow people a chance to make mistakes, learn from their mistakes, and see if they can even get better. That's my thought.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Have a good one. Yeah.
I was just looking at something here. I was trying to get the numbers of our midfielders. Onyedika, Etebo, Al Hassan Yusuf, and Frank Onyeka. I don't need to bring Iwobi's numbers. Let's not come and embarrass everybody else. But I was trying to look at those 4 players and their numbers, and it's interesting. I mean, Onyedika, I think is in the best form based on these numbers that I'm seeing amongst those 4 players. But Etebo, something that stands out for me is that Etebo is, even though Etebo has only played 5 games this season, so of course it's a very small sample size. But in those 5 games, like I said, he's actually doing well. You know, and Etebo has done well for the Super Eagles in the past. This is not me trying to justify the selection, but he's winning more tackles than other players. You know, he's recovering the ball more, things like that. His passes are more accurate. But again, it's only 5 games, and he plays in Greece versus Belgium or England. And then other than that, Alassane Yusuf and Onyedika clearly stand out. I mean, Onyedika has the highest rating. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to criticize anything too much. I'm definitely giving Peseiro a chance. You know, I'm not, even though, I mean, he has not started off too well, but we've played some difficult matches. I mean, somebody said Nigerian like criticism, especially Ayo, and he knows how to play ball. Have you seen me play ball before? How do you know that I cannot play? Have you seen me play ball? But yeah, let me bring on the next person. Let's hear your thoughts. David, you're starting 11 against Portugal. You did not put goalkeeper. I'm trying to bring you guys on. Sanusi is injured. Sanusi is injured. Okay. We've been on here for how many minutes now? Let's see. Okay. Temitayo, if you're on YouTube, then you have to turn on your camera because I can't see you. Okay. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking at the list now, and yeah, I think first of all, the keepers are not so. I mean, it's what we have, right? It's. I wish we could have like more keepers and we could like do better, but yeah, Okoye, Uzoho, Adile, same old. Um, I wish we could do more in the midfield as well. Like I said, Alassane Yusuf needs to be called up. Onyedika needs to be called up. Um, I don't know. I don't know how possible it is to kind of like get new players. I don't know. I feel like I know in as much as we're not going to the World Cup, I want to also see like new experiments. I'm happy to see Bright Osayi-Samuel. I
Mm.
want to see what he can do. I'm happy to see Bruno Onyemaechi in this squad. I'm happy to see what he can do. But I wanted to see like some more players because obviously if you calculate like Leon Balogun's age now, he's 33.
Mm-hmm.
By the next World Cup, Leon Balogun is 37. The likelihood of Leon Balogun going to
Next one.
USA qualify is slim.
Yeah.
The likelihood of Ahmed Musa and the likes going to the next World Cup is slim. So this is basically the beginning of the journey to USA, Canada, Mexico 2026.
Mm.
How we start planning this journey now determines how well we can do in the next 4 years. The midfield is a problem. It's a big concern. Honestly, it's a big, big, big concern. We lost us. The midfield is what made us lose against Ghana. If you want to go and check that game, the midfield is what made us. Obviously, apart from our keeper. So the midfield, everything apart from our attack is a problem right now. Honestly, I'm trying to see the best centre back pairing. I'm a bit confused. I wish Ayo Obile could get a call up. I wish we could have maybe like gotten. I don't know, maybe Tosin Adara Bioyo, but he's not willing to play for his
Yeah,
club.
the Rabiot here is not thinking of it.
He's not willing to play for us. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like, yeah, it's
See,
there's
so,
a lot. There's a lot. It's a decent list for what we have available, but this list is still not where we need to be yet. You
mm.
understand what I'm saying?
Okay, so let me ask this question because I saw Nigerians were laughing at Fikayo Tomori and Tammy Abraham when they didn't get called up for for the Three Lions
The
squad.
English squad, yeah.
And then I was now thinking to myself that wait, why are we laughing at them? If they were Nigerian, they will not be going.
They don't even be at the
They
World
won't be
Cup.
going to the World Cup either now.
They
So
won't be at the World
what's
Cup.
that the difference? But I mean, people are taking on the basis of that. I mean, Tomori at least probably deserves to be in the
Yeah,
England
in
squad.
the English squad, certainly does.
But,
Certainly
but
does.
it's unfortunate. I mean, if we had Tomori playing for Nigeria, of course, that would have been a big plus for us.
I'll just have Tomori and Bassi as my two centre backs, and I'm good.
But I mean, and based on this squad list, it looks like Basi is not being called up as a centre back. It looks like he's going to play left back.
As a
Because,
full
yeah,
back.
and even though he's been playing centre back for like 90% of his games at Ajax. But another thing that is even interesting is that Basi has been actually getting a bit of criticism
Yeah,
um
in
in, in
from
the
the
Netherlands.
yeah
Yeah,
from the yeah.
some people are not feeling him too much in Ajax.
But
And
we also have you have to also
interesting.
have to look at it like he's young. It's transitory for him. He's just kind of coming into the Danish league. It's his first season there. He's going to make mistakes as well. So and the competition in Scotland compared to other leagues is like miles apart. So I mean, he will adapt. But I don't know. I feel we have a lot of work to do to kind of like start grooming the next Super Eagles because let's be honest, like if we are really going to be a serious national team, I looked at the Senegalese squad today. I looked at I'm looking at how is it easy for Senegal to convince these boys to play for them and we can't do it. I don't care. But what I'm saying is that this squad needs to be more competitive. You cannot tell me an Etebo should be making this squad. You cannot tell me Frank Onyeka should really be making this squad if we had options. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not like they are not bad players, but it's just that if we really had options, at least Ebube Duru, old Lisanda, yes, just won this thing. And William Ekong, it just goes to the testament that we are not where we should be at the moment.
Mm.
Even the Ghanaian squad, with all due respect, I'm not speaking now from sentiment. It's slightly better than ours, apart from maybe few outliers like Osimhen.
Don't annoy me. Oh, that Ghana squad, I beg.
I'm
There's
being honest. I'm being honest. I'm being honest. They are not going to do well in the World Cup. They'll get beaten very
they'll
bad.
get smacked.
But yeah, we can do better. This our squad is not where it should be at all.
No,
It's
I
far.
mean, but I hear your point about, if we really had options, would Etebo be getting called up? Would Onyeka be getting called up? And it's a very good question
Would
because
Okoye be getting called up?
look at look at
Would
look at countries like, I mean, of course, I don't want to compare ourselves to any of the top nations in the world, but other countries where even like quality players are getting left out of the squad just because of there are too many good players, type of thing. I
we
mean,
are we are basically it's not even we don't have options. We are struggling to make a 23-man list.
mm,
You have to look at it the way we are struggling to call 23 players that can play for the Super Eagles. That's worrying. Do you understand what I'm saying? In the attack, yes, we can call maybe 10 other strikers that can come and play. But I'm saying in the whole squad, we are struggling to call 23 men to play for us, and it's a huge worry. And I'm hoping that between now and 2026, I know every Nigerian fan is here tired of hearing going back to the drawing board. That drawing board, we've gone back to it many times, but hopefully we can be more intentional about our scouting. Trot did us dirty in terms of the lack of balance in our squad. Some squads you just see two midfielders or three midfielders, and the rest are attackers. But we need that balance. It's honestly going to take some time. I don't know where we can get those players. I don't know where Jose Peseiro needs to look at those players. But yeah, that's my submission. We need the balance and we need more players that can balance this squad because as the squad is right now, it's just mediocre.
all right. Thank you very much, Temitayo. Thank you for joining and and sharing your thoughts. Okay. Let me bring the next person on here. David, I accepted your invite. I don't know if you want to come on. Bobson, you're being rude, but I'll still accept your request. Let's hear what you have to say. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Can we see your face, please? Yeah, look at see. These are how you are telling people to shut up in the comments. We say, oh yeah, come online so that we can hear what you have to say. You're running away in 2 seconds, eh? Look at the problem with Nigerians. You can make noise in the comments. Come and share your thoughts now. You don't know football. Yeah, let's move on. Uh, someone said you and football fan tribe should do a special episode. I mean, I'm down. I mean, football fan tribe, these are my guys, man. Shout out to them, Talks and his team. The best Nigerian football channel on YouTube. If you're not subscribed, go and subscribe to your channel. The best Nigerian football channel on YouTube. By far. By far. I'm not a YouTube person, but I watch their channel religiously. So subscribe to Football Fan Tribe if you're not already. I mean, okay. Let's see who else is requesting. Bobson, I'm not bringing you on again. If you'd like to share your thoughts on the team, please send a request. You can join either on Facebook, you can join on YouTube, or you can join on Instagram. If you'd like to share your thoughts on the team. In case you missed it, Maduka Okoye, Uzoho Adeleye, we have Ekong Nda Basi Akpoguma Duru Ebuehi Onyemaechi Osayi-Samuel. We have midfielders Aribo Iwobi Ndidi Onyeka Etebo. And we have forwards Moses Simon, Chukwueze, Lukman, Murphy, Onuachu, Osimhen, and Dennis. 23-man squad. Someone said let's talk about likely starters. I mean, I think, okay, talking about likely starters, in goal, I think, even though I pulled up the numbers and I think the numbers favor Adeleye, I think more than likely in goal, we're going to see Uzoho start. Uzoho has been there, done that. He's a regular in Super Eagles squad. He's been playing well this season. Okay, he's been playing okay this season. He had that fantastic performance against Man United. That made in one night Zoho gained like 45,000 followers on Instagram. Like it was crazy. In one night, he gained like 45,000 followers on Instagram. And off of the that's one thing. And since then, he has gained over 100K since then. Uzoho had less than 50,000 followers before that game against Man U. Right now, he has 138,000 followers. That's the power of a performance. And sometimes, you just have to let your football do the talking. I mean, and hopefully he can. I mean, he hasn't been that amazing in all his matches, but still, he's been pretty good this season. He kept a clean sheet again today. And so I think Uzoho is most likely going to be the starter in goal on Thursday. In defense, left back, I think is going to be Calvin Bassey. The options that we have here, maybe not. I don't even know. It's interesting now. I mean, we have Calvin Bassey that can play left back. We have Bruno, who can also play left back, left wing back. And then we have, correct me if I'm wrong, Ebube Duru, can he play left back? Or is he left back? I mean, so it'll be interesting to see if he wants to play Bassey at left back or center back. But I think most likely, Calvin Bassey at left back. I don't think he'll start Bruno like that and put Bruno against who is Portugal's right winger in his first match, just like that. So I think Calvin Bassey might start. Center back, of course, Ekong is going to captain the squad. I mean, undoubtedly he's going to be there. I think Akpoguma, of course, has to be the second center back. Akpoguma is this interesting player that got called up once on that Raw, and then they didn't call him again. But he's back in the squad for the last 2 times, I think. I mean, Akpoguma is a good center back / sometimes he can play as a fullback, but I don't really like him there. I mean, but very good center back. Hopefully he can mark his. Hey, Rafael Leao. Hey, that boy. Oh god. But that boy is good. Sorry. he just that boy is good. But yeah, hopefully what was I talking about? Akpoguma. Hopefully Akpoguma can impress in the grain of Nigeria. I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to seeing Akpoguma and seeing what he can really offer for Nigeria. I mean, so I think it's going to be Ekong and Akpoguma center back pairing. Ekong and Akpoguma. Right back, I think is going to be I think right back is going to be Ebuehi. Ebuehi has been in the Super Eagles squad. Ebuehi has gone to a World Cup. Again, talking about World Cup makes me sad. But was Ebuehi, in the 2018 squad? So Ebuehi, even though he's been battling injuries, things like that, he's been doing well this season for Empoli. They kept a clean sheet today against Cremonese. Empoli, they won 2-0 against Cremonese. Ebuehi played well as well. I mean, so yeah, Ebuehi is probably going to start on Thursday. Okay, and then midfielders, depending on the formation, I don't know. Is it going to be two midfielders? Is it going to be three midfielders? I mean, picking three out of these five, I would say Iwobi is the first name. Iwobi has to be. Iwobi has to be there. Iwobi has to be there. Ndidi has to be there because without Ndidi, our midfield is going to be so porous and is going to be so permeable. So I think, of course, Ndidi is going to start. So Ndidi, Iwobi, and then Aribo. Three midfielders. Ndidi, Iwobi, and Aribo. If he wants to be a bit defensive because Portugal, or if he wants to be, have some more protection, then it's going to be a table because, I mean, he's the one that is there. Somebody said, if a table starts, make my hand bend. I pray your hand does not bend, though. I mean, I don't think Etebo should start, but if the coach is saying, "Oh, I want to play two holding, or I want to play, a bit defensive," then I mean he will probably play Etebo. Is senior man on the list? No, Kelechi Iheanacho is not on the list. I mean, which is tough, but is understandable. And Iheanacho, man, I love Kelechi, but Iheanacho's story is so interesting. I remember when Iheanacho was such a like he was like one of our best players at the point. And then gradually lack of playing time at Leicester, everything, and then he's not even getting caught up right now. It's a bit sad, and I don't know if the solution is to just leave Leicester, but if he stays at Leicester and he keeps on not playing, then it's going to be difficult for him to play his way back. Because if truly you have to play your way into the national team, Iheanacho is not playing, man. He's not playing. So with all the players that are actually playing that are getting overlooked, the Godwins, the Bonifaces, the Okerekes, that are getting overlooked, how does Kelechi Iheanacho that he's not playing actually now play his way back into the team? It's very like I like Iheanacho, but is a difficult one. Honestly, it's a difficult one. Someone said Ruben Neves, Mario Bruno Fernandes, Danilo versus Iwobi, Ndidi, and Aribo. Fernandes cannot do anything, I beg. Fernandes cannot do anything. We have Ndidi. I trust Ndidi against Fernandes. But of course, it's not one on one. I mean, okay, forwards. Forwards. Number 9, Victor Osimhen. Of course. Any coach that doesn't start Osimhen deserves like 6 strokes of cane. So number 9 is Osimhen. I mean, wingers, Ademola Lookman deserves to start. Ademola Lookman has been impressive, has been fantastic for Atalanta, and that guy is so good, man. Ademola Lookman is good. He's good. He's like a young Victor Moses. He's good. Like, I like that player. I mean, so Ademola Lookman, I think, is going to start. And then on the left, is most likely going to be Moses Simon. So yeah, I think it's going to be Lukman Osimhen Simon. Is what I think. What do you guys think? Chukwueze is going to have to sit on the bench, I think. Murphy, unfortunately, is going to have to sit on the bench. Onuachu, as he does most times, is going to sit on the bench. Dennis will have to sit on the bench. Yeah. Yeah. So my probable lineup is Uzoho in goal, left back Basi, center backs Ekong and Akpoguma, right back Ibuehi, midfielders Aribo, Iwobi, Ndidi, forwards Simon, Lukman, and number 9, Victor Osimhen. Let me hear your thoughts. If you agree, if you disagree, give me your own lineup. Let me see if there's anybody else that sent a request to join, and I can bring some people up before we wrap up. Thank you guys for staying up. It's 12:51 a.m. in Nigeria. So shout out to all of you that are watching from Nigeria. And I know it's late in Europe as well. Shout out to those of you watching in Europe as well. And wherever you're watching, shout out to you. Okay. Someone says he might use 4-2-4 though. I don't know why we're playing 4-2-4 against Portugal, man. Unless you mean like 4-4-2. Because if you play 4-2-4, we're going to be so porous. Like, But yeah, special shout out to UK. Thank you. But if he plays 4-4-2, I mean, then I would like him to play. The thing is that if he plays 4-4-2, I don't trust the two midfielders, like the right and left midfielders that he will play, to actually do a job. Because if he plays Lukman as a right midfielder, like not a right winger, I mean, I've not seen Lukman play deep like that before. So I don't know how we would actually do there. I mean, if he plays, who will be the left midfielder? If he plays Simon as a left midfielder, he cannot do that. Simon is a very advanced player. Unless he plays Aribo, as a right midfielder. I don't know. Or he decides to play Bright as a right midfielder. I don't know how it would be. I mean, if he wants to mark Ronaldo, he might play he might play another player in midfield, an extra player in midfield. So who knows? Who knows? I'm not the coach, thank God. Because being a coach is not an easy job. Honestly, sometimes, as much as we talk about these things and we criticize selections, being a coach is not an easy job. I mean, some things are obvious, yeah. But yeah, somebody says 4-3-3 is the best option. We need more options in midfield. I mean, we definitely need more options in midfield. I mean, but somebody was saying, hey, we actually do have options. I mean, Onyedika was not called up. God knows why. Alassane Yusuf was not called up. God knows why. So we actually do have some more options in midfield. But coaches know best, at the end of the day. We just have to wait and see. And, if things don't go right, then we can now question them. But for now, I always just like to think of, I always like, sometimes when I see these things, I like to reason and think, why could they have made the decisions that they made? I mean, Eben Franklin says, for me, he deserves to be there more than Onyeka or Etebo. I think so as well. Onyedika, I think so as well. He's been doing fantastically well. Somebody said he doesn't need to mark Ronaldo. Ronaldo don't even they score these days. Ronaldo don't they score these days anyways. Somebody said our defense is too poor to play for at the back, especially against Portugal. Gentle Silver Sports. My lineup is Maduka or Adeleye, Basi, Ekong, Abguma, Osayi, Iwobi, Ndidi, Aribo, Moses, Osimhen, Lukman. So you just, from my lineup, you swapped Ebuehi for Osayi-Samuel. I can understand that. I mean, I can understand that. Let's see. We have 6 more minutes before we call it the night. Thank you guys for joining. last call for request if you'd like to join to share your thoughts. Somebody said Ronaldo time don't pass. Yes, so it's time for Victor Osimhen. It's time for Victor Osimhen. So okay, before we go, what are your predictions? What are your predictions? I don't know if I'm going to do a live before the game. So let's hear what you guys think in the comments. What are your predictions for the game against Portugal? What are your predictions for the game against Portugal? What do you think the final score could be? Who do you think is going to score? What are you expecting to see? Fred EJ says 3-1, 3-1 to Portugal. Edwin Franklin says Portugal win 1-2-0. Felix says 1-0 to Nigeria. Am I coming? If you buy me tickets to Portugal, I'll come. Bright says 2-1 to Portugal. Stepmonic says 3-1 for Portugal. Jet Silver Sports, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that. Akintoye Damnola says 4-1-2-3 is the best with the current set of players. So I'm assuming 4, then 1 DM, 2 midfielders, and then 3. Yeah, I think so. 3-1 Ronaldo Osimhen. I mean Ronaldo and Osimhen scoring. You see our match poster that we don't post match poster until the day of the match, but because it's Ronaldo and Osimhen, I posted it today. So Osimhen better score. Osimhen better score. Ahmed said 5-1 to Portugal. Ahmed, calm down. Guy. You don't rate us. Even if at least by the time it reach like 3, we'll just pack bus. Why are we letting reach 5? Desmond said Nigeria 2, Portugal 1. With Ademola, and Osimhen and Simon up front, we have the perfect attack. Let's see. Jet Silver Sports says 2-1 to Portugal. Chidi Okpara says 3-2 Super Eagles. Felix says, what advantage do we have? Where can the game be won or lost? My brother, I don't know if we actually have any advantage over Portugal on paper. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know if we have any advantage on paper. I mean, we have pacey players, but these guys are used to playing against pacey players. I mean, we have Victor Osimhen. Honestly, we have Victor Osimhen and Ademola Lookman. Those are the two. My faith is in Lookman and Osimhen. If we are going to get anything out of that game, Osimhen and Lookman, I think, because we don't have any advantage like that. We say, oh, we're better than them in midfield, we're better than them in attack, we're better than them in defense, or that we can out something them. We have to try to play like a team. We have to just try to be compact. We have to try to be disciplined. And I think Osimhen and Lookman can make magic for Nigeria if anything is going to happen for us. And Alex Iwobi. Thank you. And Alex Iwobi. Alex Iwobi as well. And Alex Iwobi. Yeah. And Alex Iwobi. I have to give credit. Iwobi too can create something for us. He's in form. Yeah. No, but I believe we can. I mean, we played in 2019. We were drawing against Brazil in 2019. So there's no reason why we can't beat or draw against Portugal. No, for sure. I don't doubt that. But, it's football at the end of the day. I mean, Tutu Muyi King says, somebody said an table boy. Steph Monique, you like trouble. But yes, thank you very much, guys. And girls, ladies, gentlemen, everyone for joining, for tuning in for this special live. It's been over an hour. Thank you very much. It's going to be 1 a.m. in Nigeria. So I'll let you guys go and enjoy your Friday nights. If you are clubbing, drive safe. Don't drink and drive. If you are going out tonight, have a good time. My name is Ayoti, and this has been Eagle Striker, the home of Nigerian footballers. Until next time, bye-bye.